How's it? I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of these boots here and why I choose LOWA boots over the other boots. They are so comfortable. They are expensive, but when I'm in the hills they're worth their weight in gold. Reason being, I can actually use them to ski down the hill. Those of you that ski will appreciate how important it is when you're on the steep stuff to be able to dig the edge of your foot into the hill, and inside and both outside edge, so they're stiff enough that way and that way, or they hold themselves to your feet well enough that you can actually dig them into the hill and not only traverse across glaciers, snow, but also very steep, hard, frozen ground as well. Very, very good feature on these. Now the reason you can do them up so tight is because of this lacing system. It's a pretty good lacing system. My favourite part are the ball bearings in there. You see in here there's some ball bearings, and that allows the laces to run on a self-equalising system across the top of your foot, so you don't get any tight spots. It's an even pressure. They've got locking lugs right here, so you can lace that bottom pit there, lock them there, and then you can have your ankle looser or tighter depending on how you prefer it. And I'll keep mine a little bit looser in the ankles until I get to the steep stuff, then I'll tighten the ankles up, and when I get back on the flat I'll loosen them up a bit so my foot's got a little bit more rocker. There's also this locking lug in the middle of the tongue here, and this allows you to lock the tongue in place so it doesn't slide down to one side or down the other, or if your ankles need protecting on one side, you can actually slide that tongue down to the side to give extra padding on either side. They've got enough rocker in them. These are the Tibet GTX Wide, not the Tibet, sorry, the LOWA GTX Wide. The Tibets are slightly stiffer. I prefer these ones because they're just better for walking on flat up the river beds. I wear them to town, to the pub, wear them to weddings, whatever. I wear these every day basically. These boots here are 4 years old. I haven't worn these ones every day, but they've had a lot of use. As you can see, the back's blowing out right here. Only on this one, and I think that's because I take them off quite aggressively. When I take them off, I've been digging my foot into the back, and that's created a bit of a wear point there. So now I'm pretty conscious when I do take them off, I kick them off on this heel. But I've had folks comment on the rand on these things, how it peels away. Now that rand does peel away on some boots. As you can see, it's just starting to come away here and starting to come away on the edge too. Now the reason that rand peels away is because they don't use a really thick rand, and it gives the boots more flexibility, so it doesn't affect the performance of the boots whatsoever. The rand is just there to protect the seam that runs around the bottom of the boot. Soles are awesome. They use Vibram soles. These boots are quite worn. They're almost right down to the smooth actually, these ones. I'm about due for some new boots. I do recommend using the leather treatment that LOWA provide, because if you put Dubbin or any other oil-based products on these boots, they lose their breathability. So use the product, make sure you clean them when you've finished using them, and when you dry them, unlace them so everything's opened up. So peel that back and open the tongue right up like so, so that your boot dries. If you keep your boots nice and dry after you've been using them wet, and I wear these in the river all the time, I get them wet on a regular basis and they are still very good condition. Don't dry them next to a fire. I have had people complain that their boots have fallen to bits. Now the reason being, the glue is heat activated, so if you sit around a campfire with your feet out next to the fire trying to warm up with your boots on, your boots are going to cop way more heat than the rest of your body without you realising, and the glue will fail. So don't wear your boots around the fire, and don't dry them next to the fire. I see so many people trying to dry their boots next to the fire like this. You don't end up with a dry boot. It'll dry on the outside, the inside will still be wet, and you'll just bugger your boots. So really important, guys, don't dry your bloody boots out right on the fire. Get one of those air dryers that pops into your boot and it blows air in them, or put them next to the fire at home where it's warm, not hot, and they will evaporate dry, or in the hot water cupboard, or in the sun. Don't put them close to an open fire or a very hot firebox. Actually, this tongue that runs all the way down is very, very soft and supple leather, and it's very, very comfortable. So after a month or so, or a bunch of uses, it will actually mold to the shape of your foot and be a lot more comfortable. They are very comfortable right off the bat. You can buy them, put them on, go hunting, and they're super comfortable. They will be a little bit stiff, and it will take a little bit of use to get them to actually stretch and mold to the shape of your foot. And I think they do this when you get wet, or when the leather gets wet and you pull them nice and tight, it actually stretches in the parts and relaxes in the other parts it doesn't need to. So awesome set of boots. I'm very, very happy with them. Love the lower inner soles. You can get custom inner soles. I tend to carry 2 pairs of inner soles when I'm on the hill, and I'll have a dry pair of inner soles and a dry pair of boots in my backpack. So if I get wet socks, and your boots will stop breathing once they get wet because the water creates an impermeable barrier, and you'll start to sweat and your socks will get slightly damp at the end of the day. So I just, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll swap them out or whatever. Mid-afternoon, I'll take my wet socks off, put my dry socks on, swap out the inner soles, and you've got dry boots for the afternoon. Now these GTX Wide are made for us New Zealanders because we have got wide feet. Well, a lot of us have wide feet because we grew up poor and we wore bare feet when we were kids. I don't know if the rich folk wear bare feet or not. Probably do sometimes, but most Kiwis got around in their bare feet when they were young, and I think even some of the kids these days still run around in bare feet, so we tend to have wider feet than the rest of the world. I don't know if we're evolving to have wide feet or how that works, but these were specifically made for us Kiwis, and that's why I choose these over any other brand. Cheers.